Mr. Robinson, and I'd like to take a few moments to go over the new electronic device policy. This was designed in collaboration with the Principal's Advisory, where students really took the time to design this policy for the students of Windsor Locks High School. The original policy had 3 phases. We've now taken those 3 phases and put them into one that we will be assessing over the remainder of the school year. One of the big changes is that students will be allowed to use electronic devices in the hallway while switching classes. That means if they want to shoot a text message, check their Facebook status, send a tweet, all of those things are fine. They're also allowed to listen to their music as they travel through the halls. One thing we would really like them to do, though, is they'll only have one earbud in while traveling through the hallways, all for very practical reasons. If the fire alarm goes off, teacher directive, intercom announcements, and simply we don't want kids walking into each other as they travel through the halls. Students may not play their music through their phones' speakers in the hall. That means we simply just don't want kids blaring their music as they travel from place to place. Some of the students you've probably noticed in the past sort of have a theme song as they walk down the hallway. Well, we really like to curb that, so it needs to be through their earbuds or headphones. One thing that's going to be really important as students enter into your classroom, their headphones need to be off, away. You don't want to see them. The earbuds need to be away. One of the things we've noticed recently is that kids are walking around and they all look like CIA agents because they have one earbud in. Make sure students have the earbuds out, off around their neck, in their pocket, away. When students walk in, please remind them that their phones need to be silenced. You don't want the phone going off in the classroom or text alerts buzzing in the back of your room. Make sure those things are turned either off or silenced. Another new aspect of the electronic device policy is study hall. Students will be permitted to use their cell phones, laptops, tablets, electronic devices during study hall to support their learning. That doesn't mean they should be sitting there updating their Facebook status or sending tweets. That means if they want to use Google or use a web page to support their learning, that's fine. Or there's 1,000,001 apps they could use that would support their learning. If they're playing video games or just goofing around, that is not permissible. Phones should not be used, or laptops or tablets should not be used during that time unless it's to support their learning. Students are allowed to listen to music during study hall at your discretion. The volume on their electronic device should only be audible to the student. We don't want other students to be annoyed because someone's blaring their music. And I just want to re-emphasize, all electronic devices must be silenced and out of sight before entering your classrooms. This is something I want to make sure we all are on the same page for, because if only a few people are holding students to this, it will become a nightmare. But if we're all holding them to the same set of rules and same set of expectations, this policy will work out quite well. Another part of phase one is that students will be given Wi-Fi when it is prepared. I want to re-emphasize this part because unfortunately, for whatever reason, a large number of students have already received teacher passwords to our Wi-Fi. So I want to make sure this does not continue. Teachers are not to give students access to Wi-Fi until you get notice from me. And I will be talking with Mr. Goodwin to make sure that our servers are up and ready to provide students fast access to the internet. At this point, though, we are not quite ready. By the end of the year, we should be ready to roll. So what happens when a student is not following the rules? Well, this again is one of those things I want to make sure everyone spends a moment really reviewing, because this needs to look identical in every single classroom. The first time a student pulls out that phone to shoot a text message to a friend, or it goes off in their pocket, whatever it may be, you need to give them a warning. Put the phone away, silence it. I don't want to see it, I don't want to hear it. At that point, if the student's done that, perfect. Well, if a student decides to make a mistake that day, and they decide they really want to shoot their mom and dad that text message back, because that's of course what they're doing, you need to give them a chance to give you the phone. You'll take that phone, you'll place it in a secure location until the end of the class. I want to re-emphasize secure location. You don't want that phone getting stolen while it's in your hands. If you'd rather, you can ask the student to turn the phone off, place it on the corner of their desk. Now, if a student won't follow through with these simple rules, this will lead to a referral where you'll send the phone down to the office. Or if the student absolutely refuses, you can call for us and we will intervene. If a phone is taken from a student and brought to the office, the student's parent must pick it up. There's absolutely no exceptions if the first two parts of this policy were followed. If students repeat this discipline or repeat to break the rules with the electronic device, then progressive discipline will kick in, and the students will have either lunch detention, office detention, 2-hour Saturday, 4-hour Saturday, wherever they are in the progression. Hopefully we don't get to this point. If students are given the first and second, I don't think we'll have too many beyond. I think referrals will decrease. However, again, I want to make sure we all are on the same page with this part of the policy. This has to be identical. If it's not identical, this policy could turn into a nightmare pretty quick. So I'm going to pause for a moment and let you reread this. Something that's really already been in place is the use of electronic devices in the classroom. I want to encourage you to take the time to use your iPads, figure out what apps are helpful, figure out what different ways you can use your electronic device to support student learning. I don't want anyone to force electronic devices in their classroom. I don't want you to create a special lesson plan just so kids can use a cell phone. It really should just be a way to support the learning that's already going to take place. I really don't want people to go out of their way to create a lesson plan that will use a specific app. It really should be, here are my standards I'm covering today, here are the objectives. How can an electronic device support learning? If it can't, well, don't use it. If it can, hey, what a great way to engage students. Please take some time to rewatch this video if needed. Please shoot me an email or give me a call if you have any questions. Thank you very much. Have a great day.